So hello, welcome to our Empowered Interview Series. We are Rebecca, Rachel, and Angela with Empower Your Thoughts, and we are being joined today with Jeanette Hieter from the Divinity Within.
Hello.
Hi, it's so wonderful to be here.
Welcome.
Jeanette is a Reiki master, a multi-dimensional healer, and a spiritual guide and coach who has owned her own successful business for the past 10 years. And she runs transformational spiritual retreats and has helped multiple people within our community find their own spiritual growth and healing. Thank you, Jeanette, for being with us today. We are so excited to have you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So I have known Jeanette for about 7 years now. And about 5 years ago, I got attuned to Reiki level 1. And Jeanette is my Reiki master. And through that 5 years, I have actually climbed the Reiki ranks to Reiki master myself. And I now work side by side with Jeanette as a co-teacher at spiritual retreats. So it's been an amazing journey. And I'm just really thrilled to have you on our Empowered Interview Series.
I'm thrilled to be here. It's so exciting. Has it been 7 years? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was thinking about it because I was like, well, it's been 5 years since Reiki level 1. I first met you when I brought Maddie to you and she was only 15. 3. So is that 7 years? Did I do the math right?
I don't know. I think it is. I think it's
I think it's about 7, 8 years. 8 years. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. So, Jeanette, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what it means to be a multi-dimensional healer?
Multi-dimensional healer. It's my favorite. Well, my name is Jeanette Hieter of the Divinity Within, and this year will be my 10-year anniversary in business in June, so we're very close. And what do I do? More about myself. I provide experiences for people to go deep, to heal wounds, fears, worries, unhealthy patterns, to begin to shed away mistruths and misbeliefs about themselves, things that they've been told by others about who they are or what they're capable of, things that they tell themselves, and just to unravel these lies and these stories, to soothe and comfort these pains and these worries, and to rise into greater states of empowerment to live their best life. And I do that for one-on-one trainings, coaching sessions, energy work, retreats, classes, just lots of online social media interactions with a lot of different people, and multidimensional healer. So multidimensional healer is an aspect of what I do. You know, I'm a Reiki master, but multidimensional healer is, to me, we're so multifaceted. There's the aspects of ourselves that exist as parents. There's aspects of ourselves that exist as a career person, at our work and our job, in our home life with our spouses, with our friends, our relationship with ourself and our past. And there are parts of us that function in many different types of ways. So that's a multi-aspected, multi-dimensional person, to honor and heal all aspects of that part of ourselves, to interweave it and interlace it so that we can be whole and empowered and live our best life. So healing the multi-aspects of the self. And did you ask about Reiki, what Reiki Master meant? Is that what you asked, or did I? Was it maybe?
No, that was perfect.
Okay,
was
wonderful.
Perfect.
I was like, I hope I'm tracking this. So
that was perfect.
Good.
I love that answer.
Wonderful.
So for those who are joining us today, who are not familiar with Reiki and what Reiki is, can you explain a little bit more about Reiki and how long Reiki has been around?
Yeah. So I'll break down what the word means. It's a Japanese word. So Rei means universe, God consciousness, and Ki is life force energy. Ki is often called chi or prana, and it's the thing that animates all life. So it's usually referred to as universal life force energy, or conscious life force energy. And it's this simple yet profound, like infinite source of light that anybody can call in, connect to, channel to heal themselves or to heal and support others or other situations. So what Reiki is, how long it's been around. So it's been around since all time, since the beginning of all time. It has existed since all time. And, you know, if you look through ancient texts and scriptures, you'll see, and even in Christian belief systems, hands-on healing, miraculous healing, different types of healing throughout history. And so that is often what they're utilizing is Reiki. And it is a Japanese name. We refer to it as a Japanese name because in 1922, a man named Mikao Usui, he went on a spiritual quest to find enlightenment. He was well educated, he was wealthy, he was a businessman, he was the mayor of Tokyo, and he was just an avid seeker of truth. And on his journey to discover enlightenment, it was later on in his life and years, he had this spiritual awakening that just moved through his whole body. He was almost on his deathbed, and it moved through his whole body, bringing him this vibrancy. And he ran down the mountain, stubbed his toe, and realized that not only was this awakening, enlightening, uplifting energy, it was healing in its essence. And he instantly set up an institution. A year later, an earthquake happened where 140,000 people died. And Reiki just grew from there because of the love and the support and the healing that it provided to the people.
Wow.
Yeah. I love the history. Just give me more of that history.
Me too.
It's my favorite.
That's awesome. I love that story.
Yeah.
It's a story, but it's like history.
It's history. It's experiences. It's reality. So much to learn from it.
So, Jeanette, what led you into a career in Reiki, and how did you get started?
Well, I had no idea it existed at all. I had my first kind of like spiritual awakening in November of 2008, around like right after Thanksgiving. And I went to my first spiritual class in May of 2009, went to my first spiritual retreat in June of 2009 in Mount Shasta. And I met a woman who I started to work with, and I was kind of her apprentice. And one of the ways she paid me with spiritual classes. She sometimes paid me with money too. That was nice. But I mainly got paid in spiritual classes. And she was a Reiki master. And she was like, I want to teach you Reiki. And I was like, what is that? She's like, it's amazing. And so it just kind of sparked my interest. And we had some trainings. There was a training I missed. And I remember talking to someone. It's like, I don't think I can come to this weekend. I have to get trained in Reiki. And I'm like, do it. Go do it. You don't have to do any of this. It's the most important thing you can do. And so she provided me my first 2 trainings, and it was just phenomenal and life-changing. So empowering and deeply healing. It moves through your whole system and releases what no longer serves you and gets you tuned into your truth. And life is just different after that. And it's different for every person. That's what I've noticed for myself and my clients who are attuned. It's phenomenal.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned before, there are different levels of Reiki. Can you speak a little bit about the different levels and what it takes to become a Reiki master?
Yeah. Oh, it takes a lot of bravery, honestly. It is an emotional journey. It's the light of Reiki that moves through you. And really, until you experience it, it might sound a little odd. It might sound like, what is she talking about? This light, this energy, this vibration. It's like this unknown energy. And I am, even though I'm very heart-centered, and I'm all about intuition and listening to your emotions and honoring them, I'm also very scientifically analytical, and I don't believe blind faith is a healthy thing. I believe that it's important to start to kind of become your own little scientist. And follow what you're drawn to, and then say, okay, I'm open to it being real. I'm open to it not being real. I'm open to it being something else. And then trying it out with this neutral approach and seeing if it affects and impacts your life. And so these are my experiences, and I don't want to force anyone to be like, what she's saying is true or isn't true. You really have to experience it yourself. Yeah. But in my experiences and training others in this is brave. It is brave work. It is deep. It is emotional. It pulls forth buried and hidden desires and gifts and fears and difficulties, and gives you an opportunity to really sort through them in a really rapid fire pace. I might do energy work and Reiki sessions and coaching on someone for a good amount of years, and then I attune them to Reiki, and it's like they're a spaceship. They skyrocket to new levels of empowerment and awareness and embodiment that they never experienced before. And change is difficult and scary and uncomfortable, and it takes a lot of bravery and self-reflection and honesty, and it can shake things up in your life. And so we have to do it when it's right for us, but also knowing that if it's right for us, there's nothing to be scared of. So what does it take? Number one, it takes a lot of bravery, self-reflection, kindness and compassion with the self, and a willingness to learn new tools to see yourself in the world in a new light. And you can't predict what it'll be like. You can't predict what gifts it will activate and what things it will call into your life to look at. No two journeys are the same. And so Reiki 1, Reiki 2, and Reiki Master are the 3 common trainings. Sometimes there is a Reiki Master training, depends on the lineage, but there tends to be Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki 3. In Reiki 1, it's all about your connection with Reiki, learning about the history, learning about what it is, learning how to trust your intuition, learning how it flows through you, because it flows through each person differently, and learning how to honor that. So that's Reiki 1. Briefly, brief breakdown. Reiki 2, once you get that foundation, you are taken to the next level, and you learn symbols, and you learn how to really do phenomenal long distance sessions with these symbols. Usually you're gaining more confidence, and then it's a deeper dive of healing. And then Reiki Master is the final training, and you learn how to attune others to Reiki. You learn the Reiki Master symbol. You often learn how to teach others, and then you can provide that as a service.
Love that. Yeah, Reiki 1, the best thing I heard about Reiki level 1 is healer, heal thyself. It is really taking that deep dive within to heal yourself so that you can be a better healer for others. So that when you step into Reiki level 2, then you're able to actually facilitate the healing because you've done the work on yourself first.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When you have walked it, you can help other people walk it. But it really begins with the self. That's the most important place to begin. It's like, I don't know why I use this metaphor all the time, but I do. So I'm just doing it. But it's like playing basketball. How are you going to train anyone to play basketball and be a coach to them if you have not picked up the ball? And so it is a deep personal journey. Reiki 1 usually is. All of them are, honestly. All of them are a deep personal journey. But for many people, it's a really beginning into the deep dive of self-healing, which sets you up if you would like to heal others or provide it to others to be better at it. But you can get attuned to Reiki and you don't have to do this for a living. Many people are attuned and do not do it for a living. That is not a requirement.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that. That's absolutely true.
So if you don't have to be attuned to Reiki, though, to receive an energetic Reiki treatment, correct?
Correct. Absolutely. Go on. But when you're attuned, because people might be like, what is an attunement? It's like tuning your body up to this frequency. You are in tune. You are in alignment with, like if you're in tune with happiness and joy, or if you're in tune with sadness and depression, or you're in tune with seeing the best in the world, you're in tune with seeing the worst. And so you're tuning into and connecting to a stream of healing light. And so when you are attuned, basically getting your whole body to vibrate and resonate at the frequency of healing. And then you have that Reiki move through you for the rest of your life. And then you can give it to your animals, your children, your spouse, your friends, your mother, father, clients. If you decide and it feels right and your heart calls you to be a healer, which is not required, and you are radiating it and you send it out into the world, or you do it on clients. And so that is what receiving it is. It's like a waterfall. You are not that waterfall. The waterfall is blessing you, and then you go on with your life. Getting a session is like getting filled up with that waterfall and going back into the world. Being attuned to Reiki is like having the waterfall constantly flow through you and then pouring it into other spaces around you.
Oh, wow. Can you walk us through what a typical Reiki, which I'm sure is probably difficult, but what a typical Reiki session would look like for someone that would like to just go and be healed?
Yeah, and each healer is different and has different skills and approaches and energies, belief systems, and so no two healers are the same, and no two sessions are even the same with the same healer, honestly and truthfully. At least I try not to. Every session's different, but there is a structure. There is like an organic flowing structure. So in the first session, I'll look at that, because then they can get really amazing and all over the place, and amazing things can happen. Like I've sung with my students and danced with them, and like it's amazing. So it's never, I never know what's going to happen. But for the first initial Reiki session, what it tends to be, whether it's online, on the phone, or in person, what it tends to be is welcoming them, explaining what I do. I do cards. I got cards here and stuff. I do cards. We can do coaching, looking at where you are, where you'd like to be. We can, so I combine coaching and card reading and channeled messages. And then from there, after the initial, 30 minutes usually of connecting and healing and talking and sorting through life, the last half tends to be the energy work and the Reiki. So I find that, if you're open, if you understand what's going on, if I can understand who you are, I can curate the energy work so it's most receptive to you and you feel more comfortable because we talked. And so then you either lay down on the healing table, or if we're on a Zoom session, you usually lay down in bed or on the couch, and we just allow energy work to start to move through you. And the energy knows exactly where to go, what you need. I might see visions or get messages. I usually share them. They may share what they may get visions, messages, feel like they're floating, feel like really heavy, fall asleep, cry, laugh hysterically for 5 to 10 minutes. It's different every time. And everyone responds to the energy work differently each time. And so you just begin to receive this nourishing light and this support, because life can drain and deplete us. We are needed in so many areas of our life, and we have so many responsibilities. To have even an hour once a month to the self it is so rejuvenating and desperately needed. And so they just receive and just soak it all up like a sponge. They go on their merry way. Sometimes they skip out of the thing, or they don't know where they are anymore. They turn the wrong way. Ground them and make sure they're going to drive home safe. Many of them have said it's like an amazing massage, like they just went to the spa, even though I personally do not touch my clients. Many healers do hands-on, but I just do vibrational energy work, so they feel like it's a massage. Their body may feel looser. There may be less body pain, no headaches. They might sleep phenomenally for like the weeks to follow, or have revelations, deeper connections with their spouses, or set some boundaries that they need to set with their children. So I love it. It's phenomenal. I do not like boring, and this is anything but boring. This is never the same.
Yes, it is. And they're life-changing. They really are life-changing sessions.
So like you pretty much answered the question I was going to ask you. So that's great. But I will ask you, does Reiki stop once that person leaves the office? Like when you're doing a session, how does that work?
No, it doesn't. Well, okay, so me giving them a direct focused energy session, that does stop. Because I'm no longer focusing on them. So they're receiving this like waterfall of energy and support during the session, and then we're done. So they're no longer receiving that from me, though I might send out an intention that the energy keeps flowing, and that can keep flowing through them, but it's not through me anymore, if that makes sense. It's just flowing from the universe to them. And the impact of the energy work continues. It's like getting a massage. When you're getting a massage, you're getting that massage. When you're done, but the impact of having the massage lasts and can continue to benefit your life. So it does stop, but the benefits continue. And as your body, mind, and soul reset, just amazing things begin to happen when you feel better.
I love that. Yeah, it's I love that you use the massage as an example. As as you're getting the massage, you feel the hands on and everything. When you leave, you have to drink water. Your body will continue to experience the ripple effect of the hands on. Yes. It's the same with Reiki. You will have a ripple effect, and it will ripple out into your life, even through your emotional body, through your aura and outward. And people actually notice when you've had Reiki energy done on you. Yeah. You glow, you're definitely show that you're experiencing something with this energy work. It's incredible.
Many of my clients will say that they look 5 to 10 years younger after multiple sessions. They're like,
and that's why you look so young, Jeanette.
Yeah, I know. Most people
are walking billboard of what Reiki does.
Yeah, this is what Reiki does. I am 36 at this moment. I know I look like I'm 26, but I began when I was 26.
Love it. So, can you tell us what Reiki, you've kind of explained a little bit what Reiki can help with, but can you kind of go into what areas of your life can Reiki benefit?
Oh my God. It is endless, but it's important to have some ideas. And I think it begins to help. So it can help with childhood trauma. It can help with healing after abusive or narcissistic relationship, to regain a sense of self, a sense of clarity, to begin to trust yourself once again, and navigate through life. It can protect you from negativity. So if you're in an environment, whether it's a working environment or a home life environment or both, it can begin to protect you and help you to gain resiliency against negative thoughts and negative emotions, stressful situations, as opposed to when we feel weakened, we get caught up in all of the drama and the traumas and all of the fear or all of the whatever's going on. We can find ourselves getting depleted and drained and caught up in it. But as you get Reiki, you become resilient, and you're able to perceive not only yourself in a different way and in a more true way, you're able to perceive situations in a different way. And things that once impacted you or hooked you in, made you feel guilty, or made you lower your standards or weaken your boundaries, you're not as impacted by it, is what can start to happen. It can help with headaches and after surgery and healing with surgery and back pain. I've had a lot of people who had mysterious body pains that they've had for many years, and it can heal the physical body. There are never guarantees what Reiki will do, but these are some of the things that I've seen, and you have to want it. You have to want to be resilient. You have to want to heal. You have to want to set boundaries. If you don't want to, Reiki will help You feel stronger and more resilient. But if you're not also actively looking at setting boundaries, loving yourself, honoring yourself, healing yourself, eating correctly, sleeping enough, you know, it only can take you as far as you are willing to take yourself. And so it is a phenomenal tool, but our journey is ours to walk, and not even Reiki can't walk that journey for us. We have to commit to ourselves to get the full impact. But even if you're not ready to commit to yourself, it's can be bringing even just a moment of peace. You know, some people that I do energy work on tends to be the thinkers, but I'll be like, how was that? And they're like, I didn't really feel much, and didn't really think much. And I was like, and isn't that a miracle? And they're like, actually, yeah, it's a miracle. I think all the time. I feel all the time. I'm stressed all the time. And to have a moment where nothing is happening, think about how restorative that is to your body, that your heart's not pumping all the time. Your brain isn't racing all the time. Even just an hour of restoration can be life-changing physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And, you know, also when you are attuned to Reiki, you can give Reiki to your car, you can give Reiki to your computer, you know, it can help with electronics. Like in the store that I work at, sometimes the computer will go haywire and they'll be like, Jeanette, do your thing. And I'll be like, and they'll be like, thank you. So it's really unlimited. You can send it to your past, to your future, to future interviews if you're attuned to it. Ask a healer to send it to future conversations that you're having. It can help open your ability to communicate, to connect, to be vulnerable and feel safe. It's just endless. You could Reiki your bath. You can have a Reiki bath. If anyone wants to get attuned to Reiki, like, I recommend it.
Yes, Reiki helps with everything. It's
everything. I haven't even barely skimmed the surface.
So I think we actually already answered the question about if someone wanted to become a Reiki healer, how can they go about that, and can anyone do Reiki?
Oh, I don't think we actually have answered that question.
Okay, great.
So if they want to become a healer, what was the last one? Who can be a healer?
So can anyone do Reiki? Like, do you have to be attuned in order to do Reiki?
Oh, I see.
Does that make sense?
Anyone can be attuned.
Okay.
So you can be attuned. Everyone can be attuned. Anyone who's watching this, hey, you want to be attuned? You can be attuned. Humans, for everybody. Are you a baby? Attuned. Are you a plant? Let's get attuned. Are you an animal? Who wants an attunement? Like,
yep. I've attuned my dog.
Yeah, you attuned your dog, and it like reduced a tumor.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So you could attune your home. So it's basically, where do I want a waterfall of healing light to flow? Let's make it so a waterfall of healing moves through my house for the rest of my life, or the rest of the time that I'm here, and the rest of the time of this existence. And so anybody can get attuned. You do not have to see chakras. You do not have to have any type of spiritual training other than Reiki training. You have to get a Reiki training. But there are people. So Mikao Usui, the Japanese man, 1922, he got attuned by the universe. So you can get attuned by the universe. And I have met people, and I'm like, oh, you are channeling Reiki, and their children are channeling Reiki, and Reiki moves through them. So you don't necessarily have to get officially attuned by someone, but I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And the reason why I highly recommend it, and I highly recommend being very choosy, and very conscientious about it, because there are lots of trainers out there, and not everyone is going to be a fit. And some have more in-depth training, like myself and Rebecca, our trainings are like 4 to 6 months. Some of it's online, a big portions of it is in person, and it's very robust. Some trainings are a day. Some trainings are 4 hours. Some trainings are 2 hours. And so it really just depends. Some trainings are online, and some trainings are in person, and some trainings are a combination. And so you have to first, before you seek anybody, ask yourself, what kind of training do I want? Do I want a quick one? Do I want an easy one? Do I want a more in-depth one? Do I want a more clinical one? Many Reiki practitioners and Reiki masters are nurses, and they got trained in the hospital, and that's going to be more of a clinical one. Are you leaning more towards a clinical mind, and that's comfortable and you thrive in that environment? Or would you like a more like sacred one, a more emotional one? And they're all sacred, but I'm talking about like emotional, and you might cry, and you're going to talk about wounds, and you might learn about the chakras, and you want to have an experience, a retreat-like experience where you get to know yourself, or do you want it to be more clinical? And there's no wrong answer. You have to ask yourself, what kind of training do I want? What kind of environment do I want? What kind of teacher? Do I want someone who's really nourishing, or do I want someone who's really direct? You know, do I want somebody, you know, who has a mind for this or a mind for that, a heart for this, a mind for that? And so first, ask yourself what you want. Ask your heart and your soul what you are seeking. And then go look for it or open up to it. Ask for it to come your way. And say no to anything that doesn't match what you want, and say yes to things that match, because your training is everything. And I have met many people who have got trainings that they're like, I don't like it. It was too clinical, or it was too emotional and scary. You know, you just have to first know yourself and then seek that out. And then you'll love it.
That's awesome. You know, for those that are watching that are attuned to Reiki, and maybe Reiki masters, or maybe just at level 1, however you were guided to get attuned is perfect for you. You obviously sought that experience out for a reason. And I do believe in divine guidance and following your heart, like Jeanette was saying, you know, really listening to your intuition. So however, if you are attuned to Reiki, however you got attuned is perfect for you. And we just honor all Reiki, because the more people that are out there that are getting attuned to this amazing universal energy, the more light workers that we have out there. So I just wanted to
absolutely. And something that I do want to say too is for those that don't feel that it was perfect for them, or felt that they missed something, you can get attuned as many times as you want by as many teachers as you want. I have often attuned people who have got attuned in other lineages and in other ways, and that, yep, Rebecca was one. And the way that she got attuned was perfect for her the first time, and then the way she got attuned the second time was perfect for her.
I've actually been attuned to Reiki 3 times.
Oh, see, there you go.
And each time was an extremely different experience, but also incredible. Just every single one. Yeah, I love that.
If your heart and soul is telling you that it was great, but you want more, then get more. There's nothing that's saying you can't get more. If you were very clinical and you want more of that sacred, that deep emotional self-discovery, then do it. If you did deep discovery and you want more clinical, do it. Like, just do it. I've been attuned by two different masters, and I'm so glad for every experience that I had. It enhances your life. You can get attuned infinite amount of times, and each time you get resonant with the stream of healing light. And so do it. If you want to do it again, do it. Life-changing every time.
You know, I think we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier when you were talking about different types of sessions, but I think during this time, especially during social distancing, being able to do sessions online is important. Can you tell us a little bit about getting an online session and what that entails, and if you see any difference between being in person or being, through like a Zoom meeting or something, or long distance even?
Yeah, I've been doing Zoom sessions for years now. And I have one particular client, she's moved all over the United States and different things like that I've really maintained that connection with online trainings. And it's been phenomenal. It's so healing, so deep, profound. There's very little difference, honestly, in regards to the energy that you receive. You still feel like you're in a spa. You still feel the relaxation of the muscles. You still feel like you're absorbing this nutrients, because there is no time and space with this Reiki light. And it doesn't matter where you are. You know, many people You know, I'll kind of liken it to prayers and blessings. People will send blessings and they'll be thousands of miles away, and people will feel the blessings and be like, oh my God, I'm feeling better. And they weren't even on a video together. It might have just been an email where they said, I'm sending you prayers and blessings, or on social media, and people feel the essence. So really, with energy, work with blessings and these vibrations. It does not matter where in the world anybody is. It will reach you as if you are in the room with them. Some of the benefits: you don't have to drive. You save gas. You get to fall asleep in your bed. Reiki flows through your whole house. So not only are you getting the energy work, when I do Reiki, I like blast the whole house with Reiki. I'm like, let's get Reiki in this whole house. Let's turn this house into a sanctuary. And so they're like, oh, my house feels better. So that's an extra awesome benefit. And you get the same results, and it's, you know, sometimes it's less of a hassle. You don't have to get, a lot of my clients, they don't have to get babysitters. You know, their child will be in the other room on the TV or playing a video game or doing something, so they don't have to get a babysitter. It can save money, it can save time, it fits people's schedules. And then if you find someone you like, you know, and they're in a different state or a different country, it doesn't limit you. You can see who you want. That's phenomenal. I love it.
I do too.
Can you tell?
Well, I just love that you're so passionate about it, and I love it too. Reiki is phenomenal, and it really does become a way of life. It's something that you use daily when you're tuned to it, and getting Reiki sessions. Once you've had one Reiki session, experiencing it, just you want it. You want it.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a good addiction.
It is. It really is a good addiction. So there are, many walks of life, many ways of believing, and ideas and philosophies of spirituality. Do you have to believe a certain way for Reiki to work for you?
Absolutely not. Yeah. No, you don't have to believe it anyway. You know, some people too, when they get attuned, and they want it and they were guided to it, they still haven't had a personal experience. Will this work? You know, will this flow through me? Will I be able to connect to it? Is this even real? Or even some of the thoughts that happen. And they quickly find out that yes, this is real. And yes, it does work. And yes, it does flow through anything and anyone. And it does not matter your beliefs. It does not matter your religion. It does not matter at all. None of that matters. It's like you know, you don't have to believe in the sun, it's there. And, you know, it doesn't matter. Everyone gets blessed by it. It doesn't matter what age or gender, disability or ability. It does not matter what spiritual knowledge. The sun is going to bless you. And the same is true for Reiki. It's there and available for everybody in every belief system in every part of their life. If you want it, it is there.
Amazing. Favorite stories about a client that I had was she claims that she's atheist, and I love her to death, but she's like, I don't know. But she was desperate enough to ask me to do a session on her because she was in a lot of pain. She had arthritis in her hand. And so she came to me and did a session. And after that session, she was a believer. She got up at her table and she was like, I want to do a jig. I want to dance a jig. I feel amazing. And she actually...
she was an older woman, right?
What was that?
She was an older woman, correct?
Yeah, an older lady. And after that session, she was able to get off the medications that she was on for pain. So it was really fun to see.
Yeah, and she didn't believe in it. She didn't believe it. She didn't, you know, she had unhealthy skepticism. And then she was a good scientist because she said, hey, there was a reaction here. And now if she's off her medication, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So as we wrap things up, we at Empower Your Thoughts are very inspired by empowering moments. And I was hoping that maybe you could share a time with us that you felt empowered.
Empowered in what kind of way?
Well, was there a moment in your history, and it doesn't even have to be relating to Reiki, where you felt lifted up and you felt like this is what I can do. I can do this now, because, and there was a time before that you didn't feel like you could do it.
Yes. Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. Yes, and yes. So when I first really started this journey, so being a Reiki practitioner, Reiki master, doing this for a living is really phenomenal, and it takes a lot of groundwork to build, because you have to build relationships, and people have to feel safe to come into an hour, 2 hour long space with you and reveal their most vulnerable selves, cry in front of you, or reveal their struggles, or their parts of themselves that they criticize or they're ashamed of, and struggle with. And so it takes a lot of time to really show who you are and to gain trust. And I totally understand that, and I respect that. And so it can take a couple of years. And so the first year of my business, I was making $90 to $300 a month, which is very little. And then around the second year-ish of my business, I started to go through a divorce. And I was making very little money. And there was a point where I was kind of sleeping on people's couches, and I didn't have anywhere to go. I went somewhere for a couple of days, and it was horrible. And I was like, I have to get myself a room. I have to get myself my own place. And so I utilized all the money that I had, and I found a room for like $430 a month with like 8 roommates and all this different stuff. And it was a huge house, but and so I spent all my money, first and last month's rent and deposit, and I had nothing. And I went to work the next day, and I had to like scrounge up change in my car to pay for a Subway sandwich. And like I was like shaking when I was handling, I'm so sorry, I have to give you all this change. And he was like, it's totally fine, don't worry about it. And so I just felt very alone and abandoned, and most people in my life were worried about my ex-husband than me. And so I just felt very alone and abandoned. And in general, I'm such a sensitive person. I've often been scared of being in the world, and I had never been in the world on my own. I'd always been taken care of at college by my ex-husband. And so I think 27-ish, 28, I don't know exactly how old I was, but so it was like my first time on my own, and I was telling my boss how, I just used all my change, and she was like, here's $100. And I was like, what? And she's like, here's money. This is for you. And I was like, I can't take this, because $100 was just so much to me at that time. And she was like, why not? Like, I want to give it to you, and I have it to give. You need to learn how to receive. And I was like, thank you. And it was just like that $100 like showed me that I was supported and safe and seen, and I could do it, and I was protected, and I could make this happen. And so like, I am always grateful for that. I think about that moment a lot, that I'm supported and safe and taken care of in this crazy big world. So that was a pivotal, empowering, healing, amazing moment.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That's a very like vulnerable, personal experience. That's amazing. I think I have one more question for you, Jeanette.
Yeah.
So what is the, huh? Okay.
Bring it.
So what is the best advice you can give others in feeling empowered and standing in their light and their power?
The best advice I can give others is standing in their light and in their power. I think the most important thing is to be kind and compassionate with yourself. A lot of times people look at as confidence is like to push themselves towards it. They have to feel it. They have to be fearless. They have to be strong. They have to feel unbreakable. And that's actually how you quickly burn out and run yourself down and barely can get there, and you feel like you're failing. And so the most empowering thing that you can do is be kind and compassionate to yourself. So when you feel that you're struggling, when you are when you feel that you don't know how to accomplish something, or you're torn down by the world, or you're torn down by yourself, to just sit with yourself and love yourself, and just to say, you know, I see you, I love you, it's okay to feel this way, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be hurt, it's okay to struggle. I'm not going to judge you. You've done the best that you can with everything that you have and all the knowledge and the skills and the support that you have, and we're going to make it through together. Then confidence and empowerment comes. That's a secondary thing that comes because you love yourself and you're kind to yourself and you're nourishing to yourself. Then the strength comes, then the fearlessness comes, then the divine inspired action comes, then the energy comes. Because if you're putting yourself down and forcing yourself up that mountain, you know, you're just gonna crumble. You have amazing questions, everyone.
That was an awesome answer. Yeah. You've given us some really amazing answers. This has been an incredible, empowered interview. And so we just want to thank you so much for joining us today. So much love to you, Jeanette. And thank you for just always shining and sharing your light and spreading the love that you have unconditionally. I just, knowing you for so long, I know that to be at the center of your truth and who you are is that you love unconditionally. And
Aww.
such an honor, such an honor.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Ask real quick, Jeanette, how can people get in contact with you if they want to do sessions?
Yes. So go to thedivinitywithin.com, and then you can learn more about me. You can see some testimonials. I have a few videos of testimonials. You can read them as well. And you can also schedule online. I love online scheduling.
So I just want to say, like, personally,
Yeah.
I was one of those people that came to you for sessions and didn't have any interest in becoming the Reiki journey.
And now you're almost a Reiki master.
I want to heal people, and it's interesting to look back at who I was when I first came to you, and then who I am now. I've been attuned to Reiki too, and I'm now going through the Reiki Masters with you and Rebecca, and I have to say it's been quite a journey. So I think all three of us can attest to that. We've all had personal experiences with that. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're so welcome. It really is an honor, because it is it's such a vulnerable thing to receive healing, coaching. And so I take it very seriously. I'm playful and fun, but I take it very seriously. And you know, it is a real honor. It really is.
So I can personally attest to Jeanette's beautiful, wonderful coaching and growth.
Set up a session with her if you are feeling the pull to do so, because she's incredible.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jeanette.
Thank you so much. Sending blessings to everyone, all the Empower Your Thoughts fans. So before we go, ladies, I am inspired to pull a card for us, for everyone here, for all of you ladies. Let's see what we have. And this is from the Journey of Love deck by Alana Fairchild. She's my favorite. And so the card I just pulled is the spaces between the words. The spaces between the words. Does that resonate with you, Rachel?
I think that is perfect for what we're just doing.
And there's this beautiful yellow, and yellow color represents illumination and wisdom. It's kind of like an orangey color, which is creativity, and blue, which is empowerment, protection, and safety, and moving through to what no longer serves us. And it's that empowerment energy, the spaces between the words, so the things not said, the things felt, the pause and that moment, and connecting to this kind of energy, this unknown energy, and the power of that. It's like the pause and the breath. I'm gonna read like a little, let's see what this, because she writes, she's a poet. Alana Fairchild is a poet. So it says, when we look for guidance, we often look for words that clarify, reassure, and help us find our authentic path through the chaos. And how many people are walking through chaos right now? Yet there is also guidance in the spaces between the words, between each letter, between all the happenings in our lives, where there is nothing to be said, where there are no lines to be colored in, where there is just openness. And I feel that openness inside of you. Everyone just take a deep breath, and I'm giving everyone Reiki right now. It says, those are the times when we need to freestyle. We need to do or not do based on what is happening for us right in the moment. Often there is far less to do than we think. Often we don't need to even think. There's a space forming around you now. Sometimes when we sense this subconsciously, we find exhilarated and excited. We feel exhilarated and excited, anxious and nervous, and not even sure why. There is a sense, perhaps, that we wouldn't mind having a map of this unknown terrain, or perhaps we're happy to wing it and make it up as we go. But either way, there is a space to just be. It is a receiver for the divine presence. And if we think of Reiki, you become a receiver for the divine presence. If you have a lot of space of unknowing around you now or within you now, then just know that there is a lot of divine presence to be received in this moment. It can't be explained really. It happens between the words, and yet without it, there wouldn't be any words, any guidance at all. This oracle speaks to you and to all of us. Enter the space. Let go, for your time to receive is upon you. Be blessed.
Yay.
Perfect. Well, I love you, ladies. Thanks for having me on. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Jeanette.
And I just can't wait to see Empower Your Thoughts is already so phenomenal. And you're just creating light out in the world and offering so much support. And I know that this is barely the beginning, and it's already so phenomenal. So I can't wait to see how it emerges and explodes like my plant that goes everywhere. This is Empower Your Thoughts. It's going to go everywhere.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, Jeanette.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Bye.
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 Thank you for joining us. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and sign up for our newsletter at empoweryourthoughts.com.
From all of us here at Empower Your Thoughts,
May you feel empowered.